Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. I want to talk about the Fed. I want to talk about housing market. I want to talk about how the Fed destroyed the housing market, and most people don't understand that. So we're going to go over this Zero Hedge article, and I want you to go check it out. And it's entitled, it's backwards, How the Fed Destroyed the Housing Market and Created Inflation in Pictures. I'm going to go through this, and I want you to go take a look at this website or this story, and then we're going to talk about it. All right, because it's very important, because most people don't understand how housing crashes. Everyone thinks it just happens overnight. That is absolutely not true. And I want you to absolutely take advantage of this. All right, it says here the Fed erroneously does not consider rising home prices as inflation. Here's the results in pictures. That's a very important statement, because the Fed thinks that, and they actually know the truth about this. The housing prices going up is actually the greatest wealth effect in the country, and they want that wealth effect. They don't want you to understand that the price of houses actually that rises correlates with the destruction of the purchasing power of your currency. If you were to take the average wage in 1980, and then you take the average wage now, and you figure out that percentage, and then you look at the average or the median priced home in our country in 1980, and then you take the median priced home now, and you will see that homes have went up exponentially more than wages. This causes people to have a very false sense of security or false sense of wealth. When in all reality, the only reason home prices have went up that much is for two reasons, actually. It's actually two reasons. The destruction of the purchasing power, and how we or where we are in the credit cycle, the availability of credit, of debt, and how much that debt costs. And you are now beyond the peak. The roller coaster went up, and now it's coming down. And the acceleration at which this housing market collapses in 2024 will blow your mind. All right? Now it says here, CaseShiller national and 10-city home prices versus the CPI rent and owner's equity equivalent rent. Owner's equivalent rent. A couple of notes. CaseShiller measures repeat sales of the same home over time, right? Because people do not live in the same house forever. As a matter of fact, it's very, very rare. And even banks understand this. Not only do people move from home to home, they hopefully move up, which they can't do right now because you're at the peak, right? It's already coming down. People are locked into their homes. What also happens is banks understand that people by and large do not stay with the same mortgage. Why? Because the Federal Reserve is always in there screwing around with mortgage rates through their federal funds rate, okay? So banks know that there's, on average, a person will stay in their home or stay with their loan around between 8 to 10 years. That is why they like to use the 10-year bond prices to measure where their mortgage is, okay? All right, hopefully people got something from that. It says OER stands for owner's equivalent rent. It's the price of rent one would pay to rent one owns home, unfurnished and with utilities. For 12 years, home prices, or owner's equivalent rent, and the overall cost price index all rose together. That changed in the year 2000 with another trend line touch in 2012. It was off to the races as the Fed did round after round of quantitative easing, suppressing mortgage rates, okay? So what you had for literally 2 decades is you had quantitative easing, lower rates, easier credit, and then as that kept going and getting bigger as it was going down, what happened is home prices exploded. And we saw a couple of ripples. We saw one in obviously 2006 to 2010, and then we saw another ripple from 2015 to 2018. And then we have that next blow off top. Here's the problem. Inflation is now out of control. The Fed can't get in control of it because it knows if it actually tries, it'd have to raise its rate, benchmark rate, above the actual rate of inflation. And right now, type 1 if you think that we are truly at the government inflation rate. What are they saying, like 3.5%? That's a joke. I believe that we are in the double digits now. They do not want you to know the true inflation rate of energy and food. And then housing is just that cream on the top, the whipped topping on the top. Now it says, as with the previous, it talks about a chart we're going to show, I could show it to you right now. And it's the home prices versus hourly earnings, the CPI. It's a little confusing, but that's why I want you to go to this chart. And you can see the blue line is the Case-Shiller home price index, and yellow is the CPI rent of primary residence. And you can see that that blue line absolutely exploding higher, okay? Now, I want you to see this. This is very, very important for you to understand. Look at what happened, that divergence right back here, exactly when I was selling my homes in 2005, because it had gotten that high, then we had the blow off top. Now, I want to show you something that's very, very important. Right where the number 124 in that line touches, that's when I started selling off my real estate. And then a lot of people said, well, you're crazy because look, home prices exploded a little bit higher. You see that little bit of a reprieve? It's very hard to show you this, but you can see it right there. That slight little, we're topping. That's when I started selling my houses. All right, now this is what's important. History always repeats itself. This one is much more exaggerated, but you see this reprieve right here, and now we're coming up higher. This is a trend line. We are not going to be able to go that much past this in home prices, all right? Very, very important to understand. All right, so it says, how much are we overpriced? Real quick, I'm going to put I put more of those 75% off links to the real estate crash course, but at the end of the week on Saturday, I'm also going to auto-enroll everybody in the Home Seller Pro course, because there are a lot of people that need really interesting methods that are outside of the box that your real estate agent will tell you how to sell your house right now. And you can either use that if you're selling a house now or in the future. But this is how I taught that course on purpose. This is how I sold my homes at the top 2006 when there were no buyers. All right, so you'll get 2 courses for the price of 1. Links down below. Now it says, how much are homes overpriced? If the 12-year trend of home prices rising with average hourly earnings stayed intact, if they stayed intact, the home price index would be 212, not 308. It says and it starts going into some calculations I won't get into because you won't be able to understand it. That's why I want you to go check out this story on Zero Hedge. It says, alternatively, if home prices stagnate for years, wages might eventually catch up. All right, this is where we have a big divergence in truth with the media. Wages are not going to catch up unless we have a hyperinflation. If we have a hyperinflation, then all bets are off, right? I do not believe we're going to have that situation because, we are having a hyperinflation not in wages. Because before everything gets bad, they're going to pitch into a central bank digital currency, right? Because the Federal Reserve is in a very awkward position right now. They have a real feeling of fear that Trump's going to get into the presidency. If that happens, they know that they're not going to get a bailout. They're not going to be able to push their weight around as the central bank as they are right now with the federal government and the current White House, the current regime. This all comes down to this next year. And we are going to see thank you so much, Go Homes, for what you're saying. We are going to see so much erratic behavior in the markets that this is when you want to pull back and you want to watch and you want to breathe and you want to study the emotions that are about to hit the markets. You're going to see inventory explode in 2024, even before the foreclosures hit in June. The reason why is you're going to see, and I'm already seeing it, type 2 on in the comments section if you're seeing this. Go to Facebook Marketplace, and if you've been watching for deal for a long time, you're starting to see high-end stuff hitting the market. A lot of exotic cars, a lot of art, a lot of stuff around people's homes that are nice. It's because they're tapped, they're done. Their credit cards are maxed. They can't make their minimum payments. They have to start paying student loans. They're waiting around for that big, gift from Biden to eliminate all student debt. And all he's doing is sprinkling on top, and he's creating hopium in the markets. So you're already seeing that right now, okay? Now it says here, mortgage payment and wage adjusted mortgage payments. Check this out. This is really neat. The brown line is wage adjusted mortgage payments, and the blue line is the actual mortgage payment. So your brown takes into account, wages adjusted, per the mortgage. Hey, I just saw somebody bought a house down the street. Yeah, they're the fools that rush in. And we saw these exact same people, the exact same mentality in 2006. As a matter of fact, you may have heard this story, type 3 if you did, type 4 if you haven't. When I was at the DMV and a girl, we were just chatting, and she was really excited about something. I asked her what she was excited about. She said, I just bought a new house. I'm like, oh, that's congratulations. That's so cool. Awkward. And this was about 6 months ago. And I said, is this your first house? And this look, she went from happy to very sad and somber. And she says, no, we lost our house in the last crash. And I'm like, when did you buy that house? And she goes, we actually bought right at the top. You see, this is a mentality that cannot be fixed easily because the lack of financial education in our country, and it's done for a reason, is it's set up and it's done on purpose to be predators. Lenders are predators. Credit card companies are predators. It blows me away that, and I remember this, I signed up for one of those credit cards when I was in college and I got a free t-shirt. I'm not joking, they got me with a free t-shirt. Type 6 if you guys got caught when you're younger with a free t-shirt. I mean, any kind of swag. I'm at an event right now where there are lenders that want to loan to sports stars and YouTubers and all that stuff at an interest rate of 49.9%. And they say, this is gonna get you started. You're gonna have the capital to buy all the cameras, buy the Lambo, and fake your lifestyle. And the reality is, in this room, we sit at, like, it's in the high 90 percentile of people that do not get paid for doing anything on social media. They're here dreaming a dream. People like myself, I've had the money to buy the Lambo since I was 26. No, not a Lambo, the Ferrari. Ferraris were cheaper back then. And I didn't. But that is the illusion that's going on right now in YouTube and finance. Most of the people doing finance and making $5-10 million a year, they couldn't even explain what a derivative is, let alone point out which ones are toxic. They don't even know what the DTC clearinghouse is, but yet they want to sell you their Robinhood link or their Moomoo link. Those are toxic companies, watch out. I think people need to wake up to the reality that we just don't have enough financial education to take advantage of this real estate crash. I want to see the tens because it's important as we build our financial future, and the only way you can build your financial future and your nest egg is with one thing and one thing only, and that is education. And you are either going to start sowing into yourself and getting that education right now, or you're going to waste your life away. I've met so many people just today where I've said, start your channel. Oh, I'm just getting ready. I'm like, no, go outside and film your first video. I said the difference from today and taking action or I'm gonna do it later is failure. That's it. You're either gonna start today or you're gonna never start. End of story. Guys, I'm gonna put some more of those 75% off links. At the end of the week, I'm gonna enroll you in a second class, the Home Seller Pro. If you wanna get ready for this real estate crash, it's up to you. Choice is yours. It's just, are you gonna take action or are you gonna wait till tomorrow? And then tomorrow never comes. The Economic Ninja is out.